Welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force with me, Jerupidus, and we have just defeated General Elliot in combat, and the traveling town of Pau has come back up, so let's check it out. And here we are. Now, there are a couple of things I want to do here right away. But first, let's talk to everybody, because why not? Pack, unpack, pack, unpack. I need to get a job in a shop that stays in one place. I can imagine, like, pros and cons to this, right? If you're a merchant, having to constantly pack up everything and move it seems pretty tough. However, their whole shop seems to be inside here, so I don't really know what they have to pack. Item shop management, weapon shop management, and many more books. Nothing in their treasure box. They don't seem to be a particularly successful shop. And let's go ahead and sell Gort's axe. His old axe, anyway. And let's see if we're holding on to anything. I don't think so. I guess Vankar's got a bronze lance I can get rid of. And at this point, we can get rid of Lowe's wooden staff because he's out of the party. And we are going to be getting rid of Chris pretty soon. So since we're here, let's sell her power staff. Yeah, Diane can get rid of her steel arrow. And I told you money was never going to be an issue. We have 15,000 gold, and the most expensive thing we've seen was 750. Even if we had lost half, we would still be just massively ahead of the economy. So let's get a power spear for Kokichi immediately. And then let's see how much that improves him by. 26, that's pretty good. For a flying unit, 26 attack is insane, actually. For a flying ranged unit. This means that Kokichi... So Eamon and Balbroy can get to squares that enemies can't surround them. Kokichi can get to squares that enemies can't even attack him back. It's amazing. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep talking to people. We don't need to buy any items, I don't think. So he says, I've got a great item here. This thing warms an egg and hatches it in seconds. You have an interesting egg there. Can I try to warm it? And let's say yes. Great, give it to me, please. And I handed over the Domingo egg. Come on, do your stuff. It works. The egg's hatching. What is that thing? And that's a good question. What even is that? Thing indeed. How rude. I'm Domingo, at your service. Naturally, it's a Domingo egg, so it hatched a Domingo, who is a jellyfish of some kind. And Domingo is totally awesome. And he says, I'll be at headquarters, thanks for hatching me. So Domingo is a flying caster. Now, the only thing that holds Domingo back is that you need to... So he can't get promoted, so you need to level him to 25 to have him master freeze. He is a freeze caster. Now, he is very, very good for the mid-game, so we're going to take him along for a little while. But he kind of falls off in the late game due to not being very difficult to get him to level 3 and level 4 spells. So we may end up not using him later. But another interesting thing about Domingo is that he has the highest enemy AI priority other than the hero. I've seen enemies skip the hero to attack Domingo, and I think the reasoning is because he is both a flying unit and a caster, and those are both very high priorities. So when you put those two things together, he has very ridiculous priority with the enemy AI, which can be very useful if you get in trouble. You can bait the AI into attacking him instead of a unit that it would be much worse for you if they were to attack. But I'm sure we're noticing in the top right there That's Guns from before, so let's go talk to him. He says, hey, good to see you again. It's me, Guns from Rindo. Look at this steam suit. Look at it go, it works. Look at these moves. The old doc finally got it working. And he'll be at headquarters too. And now, Guns has his own adjective when it comes to RPGs. People call characters Guns-like. And what that means is that they have completely absurd stats. The only thing holding Guns back is his lack of mobility, but that is somewhat fixable. And he is just an incredible unit. He has really high damage and is very tanky. He's going to be a great frontliner. He says that monster is frightening everyone, the sheep too. Well, don't worry, we're going to take him with us. We will be on monster duty. That van car, where did he go? Do you know where he went? Yes, I do, in fact. You saw him? Did you let him join your troops? I did. Says he's your problem now. He's a good fighter when he feels like it. Well, it seems like he never feels like it. But we'll take him with us. I like having a motley crew. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. The life of the nomad is the one for me. I saw a big chunk of iron walking, making loud noises and steaming all over. It's over in the sheep pen. Well, we already found him. Did we lose anyone? I don't think so. But let's double check. All right. Moving people in the light, 20 years with the light, and many more books. He is a man of the light just like us. Where's Earnest? When's he coming back? Well, who's Earnest? Earnest went to Urimbitol. That's where you need to go if you want a ship. Oh, right. Earnest is the guy with the cool character portrait. With the scar over his eye, he's a total badass. And we are going to want to chase him down because Urimbitol is our destination because they have ships that will allow us to cross the sea. General Elliot was worried that Dark Soul was getting ready to open some door. I think we know which door that is. Elliot loved Runefoss, but hated Dark Soul. I hope he is at peace now. And we learned that Runefoss was originally called Protectora. And if you're thinking, Protectora and Gardania sound like you had a deadline and were like, come up with some good-sounding city names, and that's what you came up with in a hurry, to me. Did we talk to you already? We did in the last iteration of POW, but why don't we get these new characters in our party right away? Let's go get their dialogue. Don't worry about us, we just started singing 1,000 bottles of ale on the wall. He seems like a fun guy. I'm ready for action, just give me a chance. I will, Guns. I absolutely will. So here's the thing. We have a difficult choice to make. Getting rid of Chris is pretty easy, and I want to take Domingo with us. And at this point, that's 3 flying units. I would really like to have 4, but I want to get Guns in here. So who can we leave behind? We can't leave behind Pell or Ken, I don't think. They're amazing ranged units, but we may need to go down to 1 knight. And I was saying that I wanted to keep Ken in the party, but it's possible I would rather just have Guns. The other option is, I think, leaving behind Eamon, because Eamon is going to end up being slightly worse than Balbroy, so if you're just going to keep one, you may as well keep Balbs. And 3, Kokichi is kind of a birdman and kind of a knight, but 3 close-range birds is probably not great, right? They never end up being particularly strong. Their main strength is their move, so having too many of them kind of feels like a bit of a bad decision. So I think I'm leaning towards getting rid of Eamon. This is a little bit different than I usually play this, but I'm trying to make decisions based on the actual facts of this playthrough and not just kind of autopilot and do what I always do. So let's do that. And let's take a look at the team now. So we have 2 mages, 2 knights, 2 warriors. That's pretty normal. But now we have an old man in a flying suit, an armadillo in a steam suit, and a jellyfish, and a werewolf. Things are getting weird, and I like to keep the party weird. I think that's a good thing to do. So why don't we get their dialogue now that they're in the party? I almost forgot to do that. I may not get every single person, but I'm going to try to do it as much as possible. We already did that one, but let's talk to Domingo. I'll stay near the back if you don't mind, but I can fight if I have to. See, here's the thing, Domingo, though. You don't even need to stay towards the back. Like, you are incredibly tanky. Like, weirdly tanky. He says I'm raring to go. And now I did say about Domingo that the AI prioritizes him because he's a flying unit and a caster, and that's probably true. But what I like to imagine is that the enemy AI is like, what is that thing? Let's just kill it. Alright, have we popped in here? I don't think so. If you want to destroy Balbazak, you should do it now before Earnest gets killed. He's in there fighting all alone, yelling about vengeance. Go back him up. We will do exactly that. Balbazak is a dangerous opponent. He controls the fortress and Earnest. Okay. History of Nomads, Little House in the Powell Prairie, and many more books. We've already seen those books. But I do want to swing back by the weapon store. This is just items. Okay. Okay. Where was the weapons store, then? Here we go. And so we can get guns, a power spear. And he comes with 25 attack, 18 defense, and 14 agility, but his move is only 4, which is kind of bad, but it's going to be alright. And we're going to bump his attack all the way up to 31. Okay, and with that, we've done pretty much everything we need to do here. We got guns. And we've gotten Domingo. So we're pretty ready to keep rocking. Now, there was that room with the treasure in it. Right over here. How to Travel with Children, The Big Prairie, and many more books. Earnest heard you defeated Elliot, and he decided to attack Balbazak's fortress. That's probably not a good idea to do by yourself. I sometimes have trouble with 12 people with me. So elven arrows are pretty good, but we're not using archers anymore because knights are just better than archers in this. The only thing that archers have going for them that knights don't is that archers are unaffected by forested squares, but that's really not that big of a benefit when knights can, for the most part, survive most attacks, and archers can't. And they both have the same ranged attacks. So knights just end up being straight up better than archers. So sadly, we're not going to end up really using that, except for a minor exception, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. It does look pretty cool, I will give it that. Ooh, and a steel sword. Now I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I will need a promotion to be able to use that. Yes, I will. Now the only other people that can use swords like this are my birds. And my birds are not quite there either, so we'll have to hang on to that, but we will be interested in promoting me as soon as possible then. But unfortunately for now, no one can use that steel sword. You can't touch it now. The engine is stopped. But I love touching it. Alright, and I'm just going to take one last look around and make sure we didn't miss anything, but I don't think we did. Alright, I'm fairly convinced that we've talked to everyone here, so let's talk to the little girl, the queen. Before he left, Elliot gave me a message for you. It was about prompt. And now I believe we then head to prompt, or no, it's north to the fortress. And we need to go after Elliot because he went in by himself. So let's do exactly that. He says, Jerupitus, you must break through to reach the harbor. Be careful, but be quick. And we will be careful, and we will be quick. But the first thing we're going to do is head a little bit this way. Yeah, let's make sure they can't reach any of my casters. I really want to get Tau out of there, but let's send Gunson and see what he can do. Oh, is he sweet. And I like that he doesn't even throw it, he just kind of slaps him with it. It's fantastic. But I am going to want to make sure that I get a level up this fight, somehow, some way. Yeah, we are just out here one-shotting people. This is fantastic. But with these, with this current party configuration, I kind of feel like I can't lose. Ooh, Hellhounds are new. So Hellhounds are going to have what could best be described as a breath attack. And it's a little bit like a spell, but they can do it kind of infinitely because it doesn't cost MP. And it kind of breaks through your defense, and it hurts real bad, and it's pretty much the worst. But fortunately, there aren't too many of them. We'll just need to prioritize them in combat and make sure we take them out quickly so they don't get too many of those off. So we need to go right here in order to find a secret item. And we found a Kenji. And Kenji is going to be a little portrait of one of the devs. It doesn't have any use. In fact, none of the secret items we're going to find anymore are going to have any use. Now, I'm a little bit tempted to go all the way out here with Xylo, but I think I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Because this bottleneck here is gonna be a serious hindrance. But as soon as it's Domingo's turn again, we'll take a look at the Kenji. Yeah, I'm certainly not going first. Okay. Now, I did just get rid of one of my birds, and the birds would be particularly helpful on this map, but I don't know. It's definitely a tough call. You could make the argument that Ken is pretty medium, but he's been crushing it, so I'm just going to choose to believe that my decision was correct. It's the decision I'm going with. And now that we've got both Gunce and Kokichi in the party, let's take a look at that Kenji. Yep, it doesn't do anything. He just, he just kind of stares at you there. That's Kenji. And these I'm always just like, how do people find these? I just don't know. But we're going to keep Domingo close to the party because he could very easily aggro those Pegasus Knights, and that would be kind of bad if they were to just go straight after him and he had no backup. Yep, just one-shotted. No problem. And Pell gets nothing again. And so, that sort of thing, you could divide the way that characters in this progress by basically sort of consistent early bloomers and late bloomers. And Pell is an early bloomer, where basically how he comes is about as good as he's going to ever be. Like, obviously he levels up and will eventually get stats along with the way everyone else levels up, but the point is that how strong he is now, like, that's just kind of what you get. Which means that he's going to taper off a little bit in the late game, but he's still going to be very good. Yeah, let's get in there, Balbs. Then you have your late bloomers. Those would be people like Hans, Diane. And then you have just very consistently strong all the time. And I would argue Gunce is that way. And there are a few more characters that are that way, but it sort of looks like, I would say, very slow build and then exponential, kind of geometric, and then the opposite of exponential. Am I thinking of a logarithm? I don't know. The point is, you got your early bloomers, your late bloomers, and your consistent levelers. Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing at this Hellhound. And so the fact that Pell gained no stats for those two levels doesn't really hinder him at all. He's still fantastic. Just put him in your party, and he kicks ass. Alright, that breath attack did do kind of a number on him, so why don't we back off a bit? Yeah, he's just a killing machine. Which hardly seems like a legal device to use on the battlefield, but here we are. Now, as you might imagine, Blaze is not going to be very good here, so I think I'm actually just going to take a swing at this thing. Fantastic. 3 damage. Way to go, Tau. I think it's a little bit better than wasting her MP. Alright, let's bring Domingo up. But I was saying earlier about Kokichi and Gunce. So Kokichi is an old man who tinkers with machines. And the machines crash, and everybody thinks he should just give up. Gunce, his suit was created by Croc the Genius, who also tinkers with machines, and everyone also thinks not very much of him, and his machines tend to stop. So Kokichi's machine crashes, and Croc's machine that Gunce is wearing freezes. And what else crashes and freezes? That would be computer programs. And so I wonder if these old men that are in these games really frequently, it's kind of an typical character. I wonder if the developers put them in because they see themselves in that. Like, Croc the Genius and Kokichi are game developers whose machines constantly stop and crash, and everyone thinks they should just give up. But when it finally comes together, it's a thing of beauty. Now, I am perhaps overthinking that, but I kind of go with that headcanon for characters like that. I think the devs see a little bit of themselves in Croc the Genius and Kokichi. And I think that's why it's fun to take them along. And that's the beauty of the party system in this game, is you can kind of do whatever you want. You could roleplay it like, keep the force to people who have the best reasons to be there. People like May, your original friends, Tao, Luke, Lo, people like that. Henri has a very good reason to be in the party. Or you could just use whoever you think is best. You could use the best characters. You could do an all knights. Like my main character is just leading a force of knights. You could go with the biggest weirdos, which is what I tend to do. Maybe I see a little bit of myself in the weirdos. And so, while the level progression system, which I've previously mentioned, adds a lot of replayability, the fact that you can be very expressive with your party construction and experiment, and even roleplay a little bit, is just really awesome. This game is already fun, but you can make a lot of your own fun as well. And look at how ridiculous this is. Like, I can go. I mean, I can't get around this way, but the point is that Kokichi is now a ranged attacker. He's a ranged flying attacker. Like, that is just amazing. Yep, just swoop in, 8 damage. All right, let's advance. And now I need to remind myself, I think I'm okay to just kill all the enemies. Once in a while, in some of these fights, if you kill the wrong enemy, they're like the... How do I want to put this? Like the story trigger enemy, they're the enemy that's supposed to fall in battle, and once you do, all the other enemies die instantaneously and the fight's over, and you miss a lot of experience doing that. So I have a small concern that this artillery in the top right there, let's see if I can show that a little better, top right there, is one of those, but I don't think so. Okay. Now, I think I may split up here. Because it will just go a lot faster. That's literally my only reasoning. But I am somewhat happy to finally be rid of my healers. I don't know if I want to get Gord in there that much, but let's just do it anyway. Yeah, he got 6 XP for that kill. That was kind of a waste. There was someone that could probably have gotten more. Yeah, we can send Ken... take out this artillery. Can he get there? No, he can't. Okay. Man, Pell also has great move. There's just like nothing he doesn't do well. All right, bring it on. Night battle. We're gonna have a jousting match here. Just look at the range on Kokichi. It's just so good. Maybe I'm beating it to death, but, like, it's so good. Okay, 1 attack, 1 hit point. That's a pretty terrible level up, but what can you do? The answer is nothing. Yeah, let's send Balbs in there. He may not survive a shot from the artillery, but I want him to take a reasonable number of actions. you do really need to make sure that you're leveling your birds as much as possible because it's so dangerous to bring them into combat. They can just end up spending a lot of fights doing nothing, and before you know it, everybody else is promoted in level 5 or 6, and they're still like level 9. At which point they just gotta go. Yeah, I'm a little jammed up here. Why don't I make some room for a caster? Or a ranged unit. I don't know if this phrase will take him out, but I would like it if it did. Cool. Yeah, I can go punch a healer in the face. Why not? I do want to get to level 10 pretty badly to get that steel sword on. Do I want to do this? Probably. Now, we'll see what the healer wants to do, but if he wants to cast heal on myself, I may just use myself to kind of beat on him for a little while here. Those hellhounds are funny. That head on the left looks like it's wearing Deal With It shades, for sure. I don't love that, but I think it's gonna be fine. Perfect. I'll just use myself to take another swing at him. Bam. Look at that, he even got some points this time. Oh, that was the thing I was talking about. Darn it. I had no idea that Hellhound was going to do that. Oh, well. Let's see here. I went and got the Kenji, right? Yeah, of course I did. Alright, well, there's nothing else to do here but go inside. But in the interest of not making this episode too long, I think I'm going to call it here. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.